Should get like a little red notification up in the left. Yep, there it goes.
Yep.
What's up, squad?
It's officially live. Yep, we're there. Haha, damn it. Got me. Got me. Beat me on my own joint. My man. I want to make sure that the chat's working and stuff too.
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
It looks like people are already in here. Cool.
I needed to rob your line so people are familiar with me, man.
What up, squad? I originally had I think that was like right around the time the Star Wars like Squadrons game came out. So I was at the time being like, "What up, Squadron?" And then it just turned into Squad, and then
I like it.
It's taken on a mind of its own.
Yeah. One of my
random
fans
numbers
probably
keep calling
introduced. Oh, sorry. One of my fans.
Random numbers keep calling you.
He said, "What up, squad?" to me. I'm like, you're fans of Annapolis Audit, man.
My man. How's everybody doing over there in the chat as well? Thanks everybody for coming in, tuning in, checking us out.
I just got.
Sorry we had to move this to Friday. I guess we'll go ahead and jump into that. So we ultimately had to move this to Friday. I'll switch up the lineup a little bit. We had to move this to Friday instead of Wednesday because I got banged up the other day while out at a election polling center. So I will take the hat off and reveal some of the battle wounds going on. But ultimately, I was out there at the rec center. I look like an old lady with like a bonnet. I'm putting the hat right
like
back
the
on.
up guy. Like the up guy.
Yep.
Oh, you need some balloons and a dog.
People were saying that's what he looked like. Yeah, that was so funny. So I ultimately was at the rec center just shooting some video. I walked around back to the polling location, got confronted by one of like the old dudes who's the chief judge there, and he called the police. They were headed out there. And while we were waiting for the police to come, another Anne Arundel County Board of Elections worker, I thought he was a judge of the polling location. I believe he's actually someone who trains the polling center workers, is what I've been told. So he came out, got mad, said that I didn't have permission to film him. It was his right. I didn't have the right to film him, that I needed permission, and that's his right, were his exact words. He grabbed my camera, slung me into the wall. My head got busted open. I could instantly feel like the blood leaking down the back of my neck. So as soon as I did, I just swung at him and just defended myself the best that I could. Got him off of me. We were kind of tussling around. People came outside, started yelling at me. I'm like arguing with the people while also fighting with the dude. Like, I'm fighting him off, swinging with him, and then being like, "Ma'am, he's attacking me. Like, get him off of me."
While being courteous. Be like, I'm not obstructing the way. They're beating me up.
Yeah, literally. They're doing that. I'm going ma'am and miss and calling him sir. It's like they tackle me to the ground. I get up off the ground, and then just as courteous as I can, "Sir, I'm gonna fuck you up."
Oh my God.
True story. It's good. It
very crazy, very weird.
Yeah.
So
you never know how these things are going to unfold. When you start, you never know how they're going to end.
No. Exactly. It's always a new adventure.
Standing on a sidewalk. He was standing on a sidewalk, man.
Yep. I never asked to go in the building. I never tried to. Nothing. Like, I asked them to calm down. I moved out of the way for people. If you go on the Maryland website, the government website, it says that you are allowed to film inside of the polling locations under a few conditions. You have to email them and let them know who you are and which polling locations you'll be going to. And you also can't interfere with the privacy of people's ballots. But you're allowed to film within the polling location. So why am I being attacked for being outside on the sidewalk? Like, I didn't target there. I wasn't going there for an audit. I literally was shooting boxing footage for like the boxing coach and his son and got attacked. It's crazy.
So yes, to add on to that, everybody watching, if you guys are in touch with the other auditors, please let them know that Annapolis Audit got that vid, because that's something that the community needs to see. It's a great video. He did a great edit, and he's completely right. Completely
Savage.
Right. Yes, people need to know about this, so please share.
I'll go ahead and post a link in the chat right now as well. So I ultimately went and got 3 staples in my head and was sent home from the hospital. Now, I went and filed charges. Ultimately, the police don't make an arrest. If the officers don't witness an assault in the state of Maryland, they no longer make arrests when it's like a second-degree assault. So They give you everyone's information. You go to the commissioners and you petition for charges yourself, which I went and did the next day. They gave me a date to call them, which was November 10th. Yeah, November 10th, between a certain time. And it took them all of one day to go ahead and call me today. I got a call from Michael May, state's attorney. And he said, yeah, we are declining to prosecute charges against this gentleman after reviewing all of the evidence. I asked him if he had reviewed the video or, you know, basically, are you allowing this man to do this and get away with this? And he just declined to comment on that. Strictly there to tell me that he's not prosecuting him. Have a good day. So as of right now, there are no charges being filed against that man, and he has completely gotten away with it.
That is crazy.
I mean, I can't imagine somebody getting away with just assaulting people.
Yeah.
I know on my screen, you're below me. I'm trying to point to you.
I saw, dude, that was a good one, man. Well played.
Yep. Yeah, literally, like no repercussions, nothing. Now, like I can still sue him civilly, which is probably a route that will, you know, cross down the road. But as of right now, there will be no criminal charges filed against this man, unless there's enough of a public outcry, because they entered it noli prosequi, which means they have a year and a day to re-bring up those charges and refile those. So they haven't completely dropped it. They do have the ability to prosecute him and file them. They're just trying to do it after the elections, which is Tuesday.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
see what their hand is on and how they got to play it.
Exactly. Well, they actually tried to like brush it under the table. Somebody who runs a social media website around here, it's like the biggest news site in Anne Arundel County, gets a daily briefing from the police departments on incidents that happen, different crimes and stuff. So when I had messaged him about it, because him and I speak, he had no idea like what I was talking about and was like, what? Can you send me a video? Can you give me more of a statement? Can I get some more details? The police department never even put it on there. It just was never on the briefing at all. So I know. Shocker. The alderwoman for Annapolis City, I believe it's Ward. I want to say it was 4, but it's Alderwoman O'Neill went down there, and she's the public safety like head of that division, and ripped them a new one for trying to sweep it under the rug and not acknowledging it or anything. Wow. And I was like, huh. Yeah, that was exactly my face. He told me, and I read it and was like, okay. You guys hate me whenever I come to the city council meetings, but finally someone stood up for me. So
yeah, nice.
About time.
Yeah,
it all starts with one voice.
Oh, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, it all starts with one voice, and a lot of people think, you know, am I making a difference out there? I go out there and get beat up, but it's amazing behind the scenes. We might not know down the road the lives you touched, and you know, having laws and policy change just by what you went through. So kudos to you, man.
Appreciate you, Tom.
Yeah, rare window of transparency, man. Good job.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, thank you, brother Christian. I appreciate the super sticker. You to bomb.com, brother. I need to remember to acknowledge the people that like join the channel and give out the stickers and stuff more. I usually don't see the chats too much on my phone, so this is a good change of pace.
Yeah, you're good. Oh yeah, we did let the fans open up and talk and ask you the questions they don't get to when you're in the heat of the moment. You know.
Yeah. Now, ultimately, so I did switch up the game plan there a little bit and kind of jumped right into that because it kind of led into it. But this is my first live stream that's been planned out with other auditors. So it would be nice for us to go around and kind of give a small introduction of ourselves for everybody or everyone's channels to kind of get familiar with each other and things like that. So I'll kind of
that transition, man. That was like,
yeah, man. A segue right into it. You know what I mean? Boom, just kickflip right into that. So ultimately, I started my journey back in October of last year. My channel was created on October 21st. I had gotten some footage on the 14th and the 16th. None of it was for auditing. It was strictly some BS that the local police department that handles a courthouse and like the governor and legislators were messing with me. I had just documented what was going on to have video evidence. And from there, I was like, man, people need to see what's going on. I created a YouTube channel, but I didn't start actually like doing audits and posting footage until I think it was December 5th. But yeah, it ultimately was all just a result of getting messed with by the DGS Capitol Police. You guys will recognize that as the police department from the case I just won a few weeks ago. It was where the chief of police, Colonel Mike Wilson, had me arrested for trying to file a complaint on his officers. And yeah, I won that case. They're still trying to prosecute me for the original arrest for literally the same exact thing. So they know they're going to lose it. They're just trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? String this out as long as they can. But it's cool.
They
I
don't
got
know
time
what
today.
DGS is. It's like
so
the
DGS stands for Division of General or Department of General Services. So the Maryland Capitol Police Department of General Services. They handle certain courthouses. When the legislators are in session, they guard the legislators at the State House.
they're
They
the
also,
governor's
I believe,
Praetorian Guard. They're the
it
governor's
literally, yep.
Praetorian Guard.
Yep. Yeah, Colonel Mike Wilson, the guy that had me arrested, who's the chief of police, is like Governor Larry Hogan's head of security detail. Like he's his personal little lackey bodyguard. So of course, everyone when I would call to like the governor or attorney general or whoever was like, "Oh man, this is a horrible scenario. We would love to help you." But as soon as they found out who it was, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you got to call the next one." Click. No one wants to help. So it was because of them and their attitudes and their egos that are too big for their own bodies that led me into this journey of holding them accountable.
They made
them
you.
and anyone else in the state. Yeah, they literally they were like the straw that broke the camel's back. So for all the police departments, for all the public buildings that hate me, that don't like what I do, you can send a big old thank you to Lieutenant Chadwick and Colonel Mike Wilson of the DGS Capitol Police. It is strictly thanks to them I'm out here.
Yep. Best ones are made, bro.
Yep. But yeah, so that's where the journey started. And here we are. Almost about a year later and 3 staples in my head. A year later, 4 cameras and 3 staples.
You're just getting up on the wave, man. You're doing good.
Getting them up there. Now, you guys might not even know it. I posted something today as like a community post. When we were wrestling with that guy the other day, my chest camera got knocked off of the mount and broken. The GoPro 4, I think, is actually salvageable, but the case that it goes into and then gets mounted with is completely shattered. And then my GoPro 10 is messed up, as well as the Max Lens mod is completely cracked and chipped. So the cameras are out of commission. I was big bummed thinking I'm going to have to use my phone. I hate using my phone. It was just kind of was what it was. A friend / subscriber to the channel actually donated $500 to my PayPal so that I could go out and buy a new GoPro and not have to use my phone. So shout out Web Jockey. I don't want to use his real name, so that's his YouTube moniker, and I appreciate him. It's cool that the community can come together and help people out in that way and make sure that we stay on the streets, stay doing our job.
That's your squad, man. No man in Island.
Yep. Squad came together, so I appreciate them wholeheartedly.
Awesome. Yeah, that's who put us all in touch. Literally. Everyone's like, check out this guy. But what? You know.
Our situations are like not like exactly similar, but like eerily similar in some senses, like very coincidental. So once I found your channel, it was just like a rabbit hole of going down someone living like a parallel situation to me in a state right above me. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, it's like you were saying the other day, if you try to tell someone your story just up front from the beginning, they'll think you're crazy. If you just give it all to them up front, they're like, no way the state is messing with one person this much.
I got it right here. I got the problem.
Literally. Yep. That's what they'll swear you. They're like, he's a conspiracy theorist. This dude wears a foil hat in his house. And it's like, so I love that. That's awesome. But yeah, it was cool to find your channel.
Yes, likewise, bro. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, the community. You were just saying about the community and how awesome and loving and caring it is and supporting it is. And that's literally, they put us all in touch. And that's how I found you, First Capital. I was like, what? He came to Gettysburg? When did this happen, man?
A stone's throw away.
What's that?
A stone's throw away. Yeah, we're not, all 3 of us are close together.
Yeah. Regional crew, support network, man. You're only as good as the network you're a part of.
Exactly.
So, First Capital, go ahead, man. I feel like we've been stepping all over you this entire time, man. Why don't you give
No,
your
that's
intro
okay.
spiel? Tell everyone. Yeah, go ahead.
Just a brief history lesson. If you Google the first capital of the U.S., you're probably going to come up with like 6 cities that claim that, from Lancaster, Pennsylvania to Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, Massachusetts. And it's a play on words because the first capital of the United States, but how I got my name was York. The auditors always talk about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, but I've never heard an auditor talk about the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation were drafted in York, Pennsylvania, my hometown, in 1787. And Article 1 says, "We shall call this nation the United States of America." So they added "of America." So hence first capital transparency. So York is the first capital of the United States of America. And I got into this, I think it was January 9th of 2020. And I work a full-time job. I get out there when I can. And between some physical ailments, COVID and everything, and a bad back and a broken wrist, it's laid me up a little bit, but I still get out there. And actually, before I got into First Amendment auditing, I actually got into Second Amendment auditing because I was a Second Amendment advocate. And that led into First Amendment auditing. So that's how that came about. Just watching my brothers out there.
Are you cool with sharing a little bit of that story? Like, give us a quick rundown on that. That sounds interesting.
Well, I will say this, that the few audits, because normally I conceal carry for, that element of surprise. But when I do these First and Second Amendment audits, it's never, ever, ever about the gun, which surprises me. It's always about the camera. No one has ever said anything about a gun strapped to my hip, ever, which just blows my mind away. It's just crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Guns kill people, but cameras steal souls. So.
Yeah. All right. Ain't no erasing what the camera is.
Yeah.
Ain't no stories in camera don't.
But like I said, one voice can make a difference. And like I said, I can stay home and watch a movie on TV and eat popcorn, but I want to get out there and make a difference. I know the one York Area Regional, they had a memo put out on me, and it kind of takes the fun out of it. Spring and Sperry Township in York City, they know me when I'm out there, so it kind of takes the fun out of it because they pay no mind to me. But it normalizes everything, and that's what we strive for, to normalize this. We're not out there, some people say we bait the police, but it's out there. We're out there not to get a response. And, ultimately, maybe that's what we'll come to.
Yeah, that's a great point, because how many other people that we don't know about that the police have not harassed for filming?
Exactly. Human nature is we react differently if we know we're being audio and video recorded.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's just human nature. I don't care who you are.
Yep. Well, it's like 10, 15 years ago, people used to try to jump in front of the camera. If I was on the boardwalk in Ocean City and they were shooting a news thing or someone shooting a video, I would try to photobomb that. Hey, Mom, I'm on TV. You know what I mean? Nowadays, somebody sees a camera 30, 40 feet away, not even pointed at them, and they feel obligated to go over there, stand in front of it, and tell this person that they don't have permission to record them. And it's like, I wasn't recording you until you came over here to tell me that I can't. And I don't know, just as a professional smartass, I feel more obligated to do something when someone tells me I can't do it.
Troll.
And another very important point I want to make, if you're going to get into this, be very aware of your state laws, because a lot of auditors out there and people who watch these videos, they can redress your government. So if you're going to call a police department and voice your concern, and you're going to record that phone call and then put it on your social media, here in Pennsylvania, we have a 2-party consent. So in other words, I can go out in public and audio and video record, no problem. But if I'm going to record someone's conversation over the phone, I have to notify them of me doing that. So if you're ever in Pennsylvania and you call your doctor or dentist, you always get that recording. This phone call is being recorded for quality assurance, but they have to say that because of the 2-party consent. So just be aware of your local laws as far as audio and video recording, whether it's on the phone or out in public.
13 states have that. Great point, First Capital. Great.
Yep. That's a very good one because Maryland is the same way. It's also a two-party consent state. So in the video I put up earlier, you'll hear me tell the state's attorney, hey, this call is being recorded, and he takes about 5 seconds and then sighs, and he's just like, okay.
Really?
Just
And
so
he continued
upset.
to talk to you. Wow.
He did, yeah. I go, just to let you know, Mr. Michael May, this call is being recorded. And I figured he was going to say, I don't consent or anything. About 4 or 5 seconds goes by, and he goes, okay. And then just like said what he had to say. And I was like so defeated, my man.
Yeah.
Well, so
you recorded it. That's what you documented it, right? Real window of transparency.
The way it was supposed to be done too, so they can't even get mad about it. So I actually went and dropped off a flash drive with the video over there at the state's attorney's office after he told me that he wasn't going to process it, just assuming maybe he hadn't seen the video, and he came out like super mad. I was like, yeah, is Michael May here? I got there like 3 minutes before it closed. Is he here? Cool. I need to drop this off. And he was like, I've seen the video. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm still going to drop this off. And I guess like by the way I said it, and I was like, are you sure you don't want to see the evidence? He started yelling. He goes, you better not be recording me. That's against the law. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, I understand how 216-8 works in the courthouses and court facilities, Michael May. And it like gets silent. And I was he just knew. He was just like, God damn it. This fucking kid.
Eventually they find out who you are, and then they got it. That's when they try other techniques to stop you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, he knows the law. Now we got to prevent this from happening,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit him with
I'll just make another quick point. If you're out there and you want to be an auditor, you have to have an auditor intimidation because the police have their intimidation. So in other words, if you have a tyrant officer, they ask you for your ID and you refuse, they just can't let it go. So if you're leaving the scene of the audit and you're walking back to your vehicle, make sure that you don't possibly jaywalk in front of them, because then that could be a violation. Make sure if you're walking back to your car and you're on a public easement, like there's no sidewalk, that you're either facing the traffic or having the traffic to your back. You want to make sure that you're following the law to the T, because they'll use everything in their power, every little jot and tittle. They'll try anything and everything to, say, now I need your ID because you broke the law. So just be careful out there. It's the little things that make a difference.
Yep. Absolutely.
And never stop filming, because that's it's like they know, it's like.
Yep.
Exactly. It's true. They'll follow you back to your vehicle. I parked as far as a mile and a half away, and it's taken me an hour and a half to get to my vehicle because he just kept following me because I've never had drugs planted on my car, but or had a canine unit come out and sniff my car. But the problem is I have a used car, so maybe the previous owner had drugs hidden on my car, and I don't want to chance that. But just be careful, because you could get in your car and when you pull out, they'll say, well, you didn't stop at that stop sign. Now I need your ID. So just be very careful, use that 360 degrees peripheral vision and just look around, because they might be following you in an unmarked car or a ghost car. You won't even know it's them.
You have a backup driver. Yep. You gotta like make sure you do everything. Blinkers, stop signs completely, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Looking for it. That's actually how I got into this. The cops took my car.
That's a really
that was part of it. Like the cops follow me, watch me get in my car, and then I went to this is the best part too. One of these troll channels swears that my family owns a restaurant down here, and that is not the case at all. I said a restaurant that used to be owned by family that I was related to by marriage at one point in time. And I just stopped in to get some to-go food. Came out, my car was gone. I reported it as a stolen vehicle, thinking that like somebody in the city stole it. The whole time it was them.
I use my friend Joe.
Tell them what you were doing and why they targeted you for that, because that's just even crazier.
So I went to the courthouse for a court date, tried to go in. They freaked out about me not having a mask, physically pushed me out of the courthouse, and were crying about it. So I went and got a mask, and I came back. And then when I came back, it was, oh, well, have you been vaccinated? I don't want to answer any questions. Well, you have to tell us if you've been vaccinated. We need to know who gave you your vaccine. We need to know if you have any of these symptoms. We need to know this. We need to know that. Look, I don't want to answer any questions. Meanwhile, somebody else will walk in. Hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah, doing good. Walk right by. Meanwhile, no, we need to know what company gave you your vaccine, when you had it, da-da-da. And I'm like, excuse me? So they physically pushed me out of the courthouse, whatever. I come back 2 days later. I wear the mask in there this time, like from the get-go, just to avoid this whole thing. And I walk in. I'm like, look, I don't want to answer any questions, da-da-da. Same thing. you need to get out of here. You need to tell us this. You need to answer this questionnaire. You need to blah, blah, blah. And then it just ensued to, okay, you got to get off the courthouse property. You need to be 1,000 feet from the courthouse. You're being trespassed. And I hit him with the public easement and then this and that. So they were mad. They just tried to file me because his ego got bruised and I embarrassed him in front of his little lackeys.
You're leaving out the best part of the story.
Oh shit!
You came back to your car. It was not on their
it's
property.
Gone.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just gone. So they tried to say that I was illegally parked on courthouse property in 2 different documents that they gave me. What they sent me the first document saying what happened, and then they sent me a letter like 2 weeks later saying that I was abandoning my property. Both of them said that it was abandoned or it was parked illegally on courthouse property. Meanwhile, it was actually across the street in a private parking lot. And the tow company luckily wrote where it actually was and properly said it, and even said on video, no, your car was at the Gross parking lot, not at the courthouse parking lot. So, yeah, I literally came out. My car was just gone, like missing.
And that's how you make a civil activist.
Yep. And that's how you piss somebody off enough to start videotaping everything they do. I literally went straight to Facebook Marketplace, bought the cheapest GoPro 4 I could find with a chest mount, and went out the next day to file complaints on them. I literally met them in the parking lot at my local shopping center and then went straight there to figure out what the hell was going on with my car.
That's a good. I didn't even know all that much, man. Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
And Justin,
I didn't
if
need
an
to
officer
say it
has
out
their
loud earlier. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say a thank you to LS2416 for the donation, and then also to Brandon Mitchell as well. I appreciate you guys. YouTheBomb.com.
Squad.
Yeah.
Squad goals, baby.
You know, a lot of auditors they'll ask the officer, "Hey, do you have your body cam turned on?" And more than likely they'll say yes. But if you go to FOIA request that, all of a sudden it disappears into thin air. So always keep your cameras running, because if you want to grab theirs for evidence, you might not be able to get it because it disappears.
Oh yeah, that's happened. Oh, there's been internal server errors.
Yep.
You can literally break a hard drive into 1,000 pieces, the hard drives that have the spinning disc, into a bunch of pieces, burn them, whatever you want to do, and somehow you can still get files off them. But God forbid it still be 100% intact.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got a good point, Mr. Tom. You gotta document everything, keep everything. I have video files from last December on a external hard drive, just in case. You never know what one of these cases, or I go up for evidence, I might need one of these files. Boom, I got it.
That's a great point, because I've been at this for 4 years. I've been going to public events, just filming at public events. And later I'm able to, once I, find out who people are, I can backtrack and I'm like, you were there.
You were there that day.
You'll know. You're like, oh, I know who you are. You know who I am.
I saw you at the.
Yep. Yeah, it happens all the time. Great point. Always film and always save it. And then last, I guess we're on that topic. Like, I hate to plug for an app, but Parachute, like backing, I live stream because I facing so much. Like, I know it's a crappy way to camera, especially when you're not in the best service, but like, literally that's what kept me from serving 4 years in jail right now. Yeah. So like, there is an app.
Sometimes it's necessary.
Yes. So I guess back your data up and because they can confiscate it, and just like Annapolis Audit said, what internal server. So and then one last thing, First Capital, did you want to talk about your other hobby? Because that's like really cool. Did you want to drop that?
Sure, I can drop a bomb. And first off, I have my cohort sitting next to me, Joe. He's my getaway driver. A lot of times he'll drop me off and pick me up. That works better than an Uber. My other passion is I've been a paranormal investigator for the last 17 years. So if I'm a little bit wild and crazy, yes, I talk to dead people. Just last Wednesday, I did a Paranormal 101 class at Penn State York College. I have a passion for it. You know, I take it very serious, but I have to have a sense of humor too. So I'm the audio tech for the team. I have over 1,000 voices recorded and a lot of videos and still pictures of ghosts that will just knock your socks off. And a big misconception, a majority of all my evidence is captured during the day, not nighttime. So
hey, do you guys know how I add somebody to this? I'm trying to add Auditing Erie County to the chat. He wanted to join the chat.
Yeah, you're on your computer. You can send him the link, right? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't want to post it in like the main thing. Oh, well, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. And Daryl, appreciate you, Mr. Daryl. YouTheBomb.com, brother. I know I did see that thing about PayPal on the shit. Yeah, I didn't want to post the link in just the chat because then everybody was going to try to, even the trolls.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Auditing Erie County. If you can email me, AnnapolisAudit@gmail.com, I will send you the link real quick, brother. I don't really do too many lives, so I'm not sure how to work this.
You're good,
man. Sorry, Mr. Tom. I didn't want to interrupt you, brother.
No. When I first saw Erie County's first video, I just assumed that he was from Erie County, Pennsylvania, but he refreshed me and said, no, he's from New York.
Oh, see? I thought that same thing, too, this whole time. I'm like, dude, you're all the way across the state. How can we, get together, man? But, yeah, okay. I thought the same exact thing.
Tom, you got a question from RVA Patriot. He says, First Capital, do you work with Clyde Lewis?
Well, do I work with who?
Clyde Lewis?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the name. I know we have a local team, and we are currently filming for a new TV show called Truth or Legends in Your Hometown. We're scheduled for season 3. They're based out of Kentucky. So if you go Truth or Legends in Your Hometown, you can find them on Google and check them out.
Cool, man. We got a celebrity here. Wait.
Yeah, right. No, I'm just your average Joe Schmo. I'm not in it for the glory. I just have a passion for what I do, whether it's auditing or ghost hunting.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. The ones you sent me, he sent me ones, and I can confirm it's pretty wild. And I was so shocked and into it that I didn't realize they were both daytime. You're right. That's bizarre.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but when you hear a ghost talk, especially when they call your name out, it doesn't get better than that. That's most awesome.
Yeah, that's trippy.
Did he call you First Capital or?
No, Tom, because I always introduce myself so they know who I am.
Cool.
He got real professional. He said, Thomas. Hold on, Tom. Did he look like this?
Hey, that could be.
Look like my
I always keep an open mind. I don't really believe in Bigfoot or UFOs, but I keep an open mind because hey, it's quite possible they exist. I just need that first-hand experience.
I just happened to get that Happy Meal bucket when I was out there with Mr. Porter and them, and it was sitting right next to me. I go, "Oh, it's a ghost right here." Somebody said it looks like, y'all know that DJ Marshmallow that like wears the helmet? Yeah. They said it almost looks like the DJ Marshmallow's helmet. That's cool though, man. That's definitely something like dope to get into. I mean, that's a cool experience, man. Going out there at nighttime, and that takes balls, man. That would be scary to go out there.
The only time I was really scared was when I had a rabbit run out in front of me. I was in the middle of a cemetery after midnight, and a rabbit ran right out in front of me, and my heart jumped a few beats. But other than that, if I hear something paranormal, I go right towards it.
Talking about Flight 93.
Man, I'd have probably pooped my pants if that happened to me and I was out there. Are you alone when you're out there, Tom, or do you have a group?
Sometimes I am, but we do have a group through the Veil Investigations, and we have followers from all around the world through the Veil Investigations. And like I said, we all have a passion for what we do, and we just go out and we enjoy ourselves. I tell people we're not in any satanic cult or voodoo or witchcraft. We go out there, we talk to the spirits and listen to what they have to say. Just like when we do a First Amendment auditing, we're talking to these LEOs, we talk to them and listen to what they have to say.
Yeah.
True. Good point, man. Nice
I
correlation.
like that. Yeah, that was a good way to put it.
Put it in terms we all understand.
Auditing Erie County. My email is annapolisaudit@gmail.com. It's just my channel name at gmail.com, brother. But yeah, that's dope, Tom. That's good.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, Jake, you ready? Drop
yeah,
'em.
man. I guess just so we're all intro with each other. I'm Jake Billsma, Lincoln Square Leonidas.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to put your name out there.
It's all over the papers, man. It's all bad too. It's all like mugshots.
It's all bad.
yeah.
You're saying the news? You're saying the news doesn't report the actual facts and just makes you look bad?
Yeah, and
No.
selectively doesn't report the ones that are anti-establishment. So it's America in microcosm, man. Just like what you're living in Annapolis, man. The country in microcosm, I should say. That was a bad misnomer. The way that things are going in the country, But
read that comment on the screen. That's funny. Somebody said, "What if you make contact with the ghost of a public employee?" Even more reason to record.
There you go.
Give it
That's
time,
a good
I'm sure.
one.
There's more of us, and we're filming more and more. I'm sure. Give it time; it'll happen.
I posted the link.
Yep. That's funny.
Um,
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, just funny moniker. The Lincoln Square Leonidas. You were saying about how you got squad, like what was going on. When I first started out, I wasn't even on YouTube. I was just like trying to like tell the town what was up, and I was dancing around like a half naked Spartan in town square in Lincoln Square as King Leonidas. We're like, it's legal to stab veterans in Gettysburg, and like trying to pass out cards. And then like they would have events. So I'd be in the square when they're having events in Gettysburg. It's a big tourist town, and like they have like the motorcycle week. Like Gettysburg has a bike week, and they do the parade of chromes. It's like 9 miles of like Harleys, like go around the traffic circle and run out. It's this big thing they have in town for this little town, and like the paper, the cameraman would like shoot around me to like get his shots just to make sure that there was nothing other than mugshots about Jake Billsma in the paper. So it's funny anecdote.
So that's where that comes from there. That's cool. I wonder where it came from.
Yeah, and I interspersed the Leonidas character quite a bit. Well, I used to more in my films, but I just finished my own court case, and I was more Counselor Kangaroo, King of the Kangaroo Courts. So yeah, no, just like you're
that's
talking.
A good video.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's a lot of work, dude. But you like generate characters, just like your taco costume, and I saw your unicorn costume.
Oh, you guys have no idea. So I was at Target today, and the costume section was 70% off. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No way, dude. Oh my.
Your boy had to grab him 3. I had to go for a triple threat. So I got 3 new personas coming out soon, guys. Be on the lookout.
Nice.
One of them's funny as shit.
All right, cool.
It's not like it's not that like the costume is super crazy funny or anything, but it's another good name like Taco Terry. It's got that alliteration, that TT. So it's something Terry.
It's fun.
I'll let you guys wonder what it could be. It's something Terry. So it begins with the T.
And it's really fun. It's you lose and you gain something by doing the costume thing, because like you can cut clips and it'll look like you're just a person talking to other people.
Yeah.
But then in their eyes, they're all looking at a dude with a camera standing around in a unicorn costume, like they are off kiltered, man.
Yep.
So
that's what I was saying. Like when you go home and look yourself in the mirror, you gotta be like, I got owned by a kid in a fucking taco suit today. Like you just gotta reevaluate your whole life.
Yeah, man.
You go home and tell your wife that.
Hey, did it at least have hot sauce on it, like Tapatio?
Was it a shrimp taco?
Hey, Lincoln, I have to tell you, I appreciate, I'm sure your viewers do, if you're doing a video or a follow-up video, when you put your snapshots of like your legal documents up on the screen, that just pieces everything together and it just makes a full story instead of just talking. So, yep, I like that. That's a good format you have.
Thank you. Yeah, well, there's a lot more people that watch videos than read legal documents. Like I
Right.
started out doing that. I was more of a writer, really. Didn't know anything about media or cameras, but I had to get my story out because like dancing around half naked as a Spartan didn't draw any attention. I was like, so that's when I started the YouTube channel, and then I had my first really good retaliatory stop. And John Felix and San Joaquin carried that. And that was from the Gettysburg National Park. That was the Chief Ranger Joe Lachowski doing that targeted incessant stop on me. And it was for a fake tag violation. He couldn't see my tag and then just continued to extend the stop. And like my dog I was literally only going across the battlefield because I just walked the dog, my best friend, on the battlefield and was going to get him water in town because I was like out of water. Although he set a trap at the one-way exit. That's our chief park ranger. He's still there.
What an
So anyway,
asshole.
yeah, video camera don't lie, man. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But that's how I started the YouTube thing, and went from there. And then I guess we'll segue this into my whole story. But yeah, I've just been completely. I'm from out of town. I spent 5 years in the military and then like another 6 defense contracting. And I was passing through town and just had the law.
Well, thank you for that, first and foremost. Thank you for that.
What's that?
Yeah, appreciate your
appreciate the sacrifice and your serving,
your
brother.
dedication.
Thank you for
Yes.
that.
Oh, yeah. Likewise, I wish I could show you guys more for it. For having invested the resources as a nation into what that was. But, I lived through it. It was a lot of fun. I lived through it.
Heck yeah.
But
thanks. Without our veterans, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. So we all appreciate you.
No, likewise, and thanks. I mean, look at this squad. And I'd like to look at this squad right here because I'd like to say, so funny you touch on that first capital. Is I've gotten absolutely no help from the veterans in town. And look at these guys. Look at these guys. I can't do it, man. It's like
I know we're all trying to do it. It's so backwards.
Yeah.
I know. I'm pointing in the weirdest direction.
Nope, can't do it. All right, there we go. It's the other hand. It's the other hand I had to use. But yeah, and you guys stop, drop, and come and back me up just because we're I mean, not just but because we're First Amendment civil activists, and we understand the power and the preservation, the necessity to preserve our First Amendment rights. Because if we weren't here filming what the heck is going on, nobody would believe it, and whatever media would be able to put whatever slant on it, and that's what everyone would be. Come. All
right, hold on. Let me acknowledge it real quick. Everyone in the comments that keeps saying to put Auditing Erie County on, I just emailed him back. I have no problem bringing him into the panel. I just want to get through what we have to do because us 3 are doing an event this month. So I want us to talk about that, and then I will definitely bring Auditing Erie County in to talk about auditing shenanigans and give him an introduction and stuff as well. I definitely want to bring him in. I just want us to get through our like little channel introductions to our subscriber fan bases and let them know what we 3 have planned for the 19th this month. So give me about 10 minutes, and then I will definitely bring him in here for sure. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sorry, there was a lot of people that were commenting to bring him in, and he had emailed me, so I just want to let everybody know what was going on.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll be quick, man. It'd be great to bring him on, man.
Oh no, you're good. We that's what I'm saying. Like let's touch on what we, what I mean, what we set up to touch on, and then for sure, definitely bring him in. It's always good to have more auditors.
Oh yeah, getting your squad together, man. Here you go.
No.
It's good. It's good for all of us to get together. You know what I mean? The more auditors we have, the better. And who knows? I mean, he might even want to come join us. Once he hears what we have going on.
There you go.
It's legal to film in public. Ain't nobody's not invited.
Yeah.
Or everyone's invited. What's with my triple negatives tonight, man?
So do you want to use that as like a segue into it? Let them know what's going on.
Yes.
Or my bad. I didn't mean to like interrupt what you had going on. If you had something to tell them.
This is great. This is a great conversation, man. This is fantastic.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, these guys, did I learn yet? No, I quit.
I never get. I keep doing. I can get Tom because he's under me, but then when I go to point at you, oh no, I got it this time.
You got it.
I had to
see
point
it.
the opposite direction. To get
Opposite.
You guys at home have no idea how mind bending this is. Yeah. So anyway, the auditing community has been so gracious to me and to each other, and we always like to support each other, and that's why these guys are coming out and they believe in what they're doing. Thank you, First Capital. Thank you, Annapolis Audit.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, this is all amazing. I can't get help from the veterans in my own district because they all team together to like hide their buddy stabbing me in like broad daylight. So they all, and their police are all veterans and they're all this. So like I was out of town guy and they were all able to hide it because of that, to include the district attorney who's part of the American Legion that kicked me out on Veterans Day for asking them for help. I got it all on film. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway.
No, you're good. I was just saying thank you to the guy that donated. You're good.
I didn't even hear you, man. I'm like 3/4 deaf. That's why I talk over people a lot, man. I'm sorry. I get wound up and I can't hear.
Nah, you're good, man. Do your thing. I like the passion.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So in that lieu, I've been trying to raise awareness of what has happened in town here in Gettysburg, because most people know Gettysburg. It's seen as one of the monumental moments. It's taught to us in our history books as one of our monumental moments in the creation of the federal government. That's where like the federal government, the battle of our Civil War, that was the bloodiest whole battle, and the creation of the strength of the federal government. That's kind of how it's perceived. And so it's a very military and very pro-veteran and everything town. But it's also a tourist town, and therefore it draws in a lot more dollars than it is for its bridges. So it's very corrupt. Gosh, had a better segue into that, but that's why they've been able to keep it quiet. That's their motivations behind it, and I just straight up just needed help, and that's why I picked up the camera, and that's why y'all are coming to Gettysburg to back me up and to legally record what's going on in public every November 19th. The Battle of Gettysburg was fought July 1st through the 3rd. But by the time they had all the cemetery, the National Cemetery dedicated and the soldiers buried, and it was time to dedicate it, that's when President Lincoln came up November 19th and delivered the Gettysburg Address. And from people that are from outside the country, that's one of our most beloved documents, because I
went to Adam. Where'd he go?
Are we good?
No, yeah, you're good. I went to he popped in the little thing. Oh, there he goes. I went to add him to the stream, but it like right when I went to click it, he popped away. My bad.
I went to hit the chat to say I was down in the basement, and then as soon as I did that, you put me in and it popped me right out.
Yep. It's all good.
Hey there, Erie County.
This is Auditing Erie County.
Yeah, it's good to finally talk to you, man.
It is good. I've been trying to getting a hold of you, coming to Pennsylvania and doing some work out there with you. That Pennsylvania is pretty rough, man.
I got their number. Crazy. I got it list by list. Y'all can have it. Whatever you want. Everything on my channel is like rippable and whatever. But like I got their numbers. And First Capital, we were talking about it, and you said like how I do a good job of writing the motions and then making the videos. Literally, the videos are just to market the crazy fat fraud that's linked in these motions. That I was investigating a real estate and bankruptcy fraud racket. They arrested me, put me in jail for it. Well, I wrote it out in like written court document motions, and I attached all of the evidence as exhibits, and I served it to the deputy attorney general, who's prosecuting me for a case of disorderly conduct. Kind of strange, right? So like I literally served them up the state racket that they're running and why they're prosecuting me on the record, and they completely ignored it. So yeah, I got to draw attention to this, man. That's why it's so it's why I'm so shadow banned. There's a lot of meat in this locker. It might go bad.
Oh, they hate it.
Yes.
I think I've been on the shadow ban for a few weeks now myself.
Yeah.
A lot of subscribers saying I got to search for your content coming out.
Yeah. Likewise, I can't get in touch. I've tried to write so many people so many times, and like I'll get a few, like even guys that I know I have conversations with. It just completely drops off, man. Is that the same with you?
Yeah, I mean, like, man, I was getting views through the roof. All of a sudden, I had a privacy complaint. I think is what did it in an airport. Somebody complained about a video at the airport. They took it down. After that, man, it's been an uphill battle from there, trying to get people. And then I got subscribers who are like, man, I see your stuff all the time, and now I got to search you out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the same thing's happening with
It
John.
make you think twice about working for YouTube full time. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
If they take your video down or you get a copyright claim, it all works against you.
Yeah.
I mean, what I do for a living, I own an auto repair shop. You know?
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't do auditing full time. I would love to, but man, YouTube makes it hard when they do stuff. And you know, we're out here as a First Amendment audit channel. We're supposed to be taking care of freedom of the press, and then somebody who wasn't even in the video can get my video taken down and get me shadow banned. Come on.
It's crazy.
Wow. And there's nothing you can do about it.
And everybody's like, go to BitChute, go to BitChute. I'm like, wait a minute. I went to BitChute. I went to sign up. And who pays you in BitChute? PayPal. They're the same as YouTube. You know what I mean? So like, what's the point?
Yep.
You can go there. You get shammed on getting paid from them just as easy.
But okay. And then the other one you get, because you're living the shadow ban along with me, is go to Rumble. Go to Rumble. Right now, unless you're like Russell Brand or like one of the huge guys, right now, I hate to say it because it is a free speech platform, but it's a Ponzi scheme, man. There's like nobody on there. There's like nobody on there. There's nobody.
People got to search you out there, you know?
What's that?
People would have to search you out there, you know? They're just not on there like they are on YouTube.
They're designed.
Yeah, you don't get recommended the same way, and
they want new people so that they bring your subscribers over to YouTube. That's
I literally stopped when I seen PayPal. I'm like,
Yeah. You learned. You already got bit once.
And if you haven't done it yet, Auditing Erie County, make sure you put his link in the description, because if you have never heard of him or seen him in action, that's all I'm going to say. You need to check him out.
I just finished all the Western District of New York, every single county building and sheriff's department.
Yep. You got to check out Auditing Erie County.
All the county buildings. New York, we're going to get them done.
Auditing Erie County, for all the people, we're all introducing our fans, man. I don't know if you were catching it. Go ahead, dude, to give you a bio. Why you got
can anybody hear him? You go blank.
What's that?
I'm here. Auditing Erie County. I was asking you, we all did a bio and a hey, what's up to everyone watching the lives to introduce each other's fans. Did you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I consider my subscribers the Erie County family. They're my family. They're out there watching right now. I know they're in the chat.
Yep.
I see them, so I want to say what's up to the family, and we're keeping it real out here. That's all.
Yeah, there's a lot of love in this community, man.
Yep.
Great.
Real watchdog. We watch it out for the community.
Yeah, we need to preserve the First Amendment rights, because if we're not out there as a citizen and journalists, who is? You know.
I started this because what kind of world do you want to leave it for your children? You know.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then I've seen enough of these people do it on YouTube and I'm like, man, I got to know if this is the real deal. If I go out there and do this, and I don't act suspicious in my channel at all. You know, I mean, if somebody asks me what I'm doing, my name's Dan. I'm working on a story, and I explain it to them. You know, my channel is the real deal. You know, it comes down to you're either going to respect it at that point. You know, I'm not antagonizing nobody to get views. So you get the real deal, you get the professional, you get the whole video as well. Some people complain, oh, the video is too long. Like, well, you can fast forward if we don't want to see, but you can't get it back if I don't put it there.
Right.
I don't want nobody wondering, how did we get to this point where he's getting yelled at by a cop? What did he do beforehand? You know, my channel's on the up and up like that, it's probably a slower grow because of it, because people want to see, you know, you arguing with people all the time. And sometimes it's not that way when I audit. I go out, I have a nice interaction, and I post it.
Yeah. Yeah, no
Thank
doubt.
you, Brother Brandon. Appreciate you, Brother Brandon.
Yeah, and that is to show the people that you're honest. You know, you're just going about legally
like genuine too. Like genuine and just real. Like you said. There's just like a realness to it.
But I did see that video where that guy and you went in at it and got the busted up head. That was crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got my ass whooped by an old dude. Shit was fucked up.
I mean, I'm pretty calm and cool, but as soon as somebody put their hands on me, you don't know what's going to happen next. They start putting their hands on me, I go crazy.
So like at first I just tried to like grab the camera, but as soon as he like swung me around and my head hit the wall, I could I'm on blood thinners right now, so it was like soon as it busted open, I could feel it like squirting down my neck, and I just went into like self-defense mode and was like, fuck it. But like the whole time I was also like still fighting over the camera, so I'm like one-handed. I'm like already small and frail as shit as it is, going through medical stuff, so I'm even frailer than normal. Like it was just, man. Then I'm arguing with all the people out there too. It was a funny situation.
It's epic. You didn't let up off the gas.
Yep.
Oh, that was great.
I'm like trying to get tackled, throwing punches, arguing with the lady Karen coming out,
and being nice to the general public, being very courteous and nice.
Still saying ma'am and miss. Yeah, we were geeking. So I was telling him I get up off the ground and I go like as polite as I can, sir, I'm gonna fuck you up.
It's going to be in the settlement. I'm going to fuck you up.
Fuck you up. He asked me part of my settlement. I'm gonna fuck you up. See you in a legal duel.
Yeah. Now we all talk. Every one of your fans, man, dude. Like, but share that video. That video needs to get in the community. Like, that needs to be a viral video because that was a straight up attack on a journalist.
That was in Maryland.
Yeah.
So that was right here in Annapolis, Maryland. That was probably, God, man, 2-3 minutes from my house at most. Like, that would be my polling location. I wasn't even there to do anything at the polling location. I was actually there at the rec center checking it out because it's the one right down the street from my house. I'm trying to go play basketball and use the gym and shit. Shot a whole video for the boxing coach and his son to put on their social medias, and then just happened to walk around back because it was like the early polling location. I go, oh, let me check it out. Let me see what's going on here. And then, boom. Some geriatric poster boy was all mad, started yelling at me and cursing at me. And then he had his buddy come out there and fucking break my shit. He broke my head and he broke my camera, but he can't break my spirit.
And stayed on it and lied. As soon as he saw what he did, he was like, no, you swung it around.
You swung at me first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
that's what I said. I go, ma'am, he did this or that. No. You didn't grab my camera? No, not till after you swung at me. It's like, okay. All right.
And they're not pressing charges. We got to let this has to go.
Yeah, so the state's attorney called me earlier and was like, hey, Terrence Tracy. I'm like, yeah, this is him. This is Michael May. I'm like, all right, this call is being recorded. And he's like, okay. He waited like a good 5 seconds. It was just like, okay. Just to let you know, we're going to decline to, after reviewing all the evidence, we're going to decline to prosecute charges on this man and enter this matter noli proseque. I was like, so you're telling me that you're going to just allow, whoa, sign down.
Frag out.
Like, yep. Like, you're telling me you're going to.
It hit my dog too, man. It's messed up.
No.
At least it wasn't a sword, Fawn.
Can you see him?
Oh, puppy dogs.
Chocolate. Hi, buddy. I'm so sorry, buddy.
He's like blending in with the floor too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but so does like when he masks his scent as an apex predator. Like
gonna trip over him.
Is Maryland a 2-party or 1-party consent state?
2-party.
So that's why I let him know.
I love New York,
like, hey,
man. It's a 1-party. I record people. I ain't telling them. In New York, I'm a 1-party. I had a county or a city attorney for Dunkirk. She's like, you don't have permission to record me. I'm like, oh, don't worry, I did it for you, honey.
Don't worry, I already did it.
Awesome.
He did that when I went to drop off the video evidence because I asked him, I was like, so you're telling me you're going to allow this man to assault me with no repercussions? And he didn't want to give a comment. So I drove down there before the end of the business day and dropped off a flash drive with both videos on there, just thinking maybe he hadn't seen the video. Maybe that's why he was choosing not to press charges.
How the hell could they not? The amount of phone calls they're getting. How can they not?
Oh, they knew it.
They love to say they've never seen it. They don't watch. They love to say that, but they did.
Yeah. Oh, they sit at home. They watch that shit. Dude, the public defenders watch my shit. Like all the little girls that work down there geek out about it. They're like, oh my God, we were watching that video. We saw. Like they watch it. So yeah, he was so mad when he came out, and then like as I roasted him, I was like, "Oh, so you sure you don't want to check out the evidence?" He was like, "I don't give you consent to record me." No. I'm like, "Well, yeah, no shit, I can't record you." I was like, "Well, first off, I don't need your consent if we're out in public, buddy. If I'm holding a camera and you walk up to talk to me, that is the consent. I'm not in private, but I can't record in here due to Maryland 216-8. So, yeah, let's not get into hypotheticals. Don't run with scissors. Don't cross the street without looking both ways. Floss and brush after every meal. Don't swim 30 minutes after eating. And you know what I mean?
Don't scratch your
Gave
ear
the
with an
whole-
ice pick.
Don't eat.
Yeah, I gave him the whole rundown.
Run Silvers.
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
He was.
The my boy News Now Ninja wants to get a hold of you. I will
Tell him to shoot me. Tell him to shoot me an email.
I'll shoot you his phone number in the email. But he's gonna be on his way up your way, and he'd like to stop up there and help you out.
Hell yeah, yeah. Tell him come through.
Squad. Yeah.
We got a. I got a guest room. I don't know how comfortable he is staying here if he needs a place to stay for the night, but I got a guest room and shit, so we can put him up.
I'll
Don't
send
come
you his number. He's looking to talk to you.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Hey, can you
Heck
give us
yeah.
details on Gettysburg for Eastern Standard Time about the parade or anything that's going on again for anyone who might just be joining us?
Yes. Okay. So to get back in that vein, the Remembrance Day Parade and ceremonies, and that is Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. That's like the big line out of the Gettysburg Address that most Americans are taught in school. We know what we're familiar with. It's a big document. It's a big moment in our history, and every year they reread it in the commemoration on the day that they commemorated the National Cemetery there that Lincoln came up and delivered the address. So in town, it's a big, again, Gettysburg, pro-veteran, it's pro-tourist, really. They have a big event, a bunch of dignitaries. They come out to the National Cemetery on the podium or the rostrum, I think they call it there. And they reread. They have a leaf laying ceremony. They reread the Gettysburg Address, dignitaries do. And then they also have like a citizen swearing in ceremony. And then also there is a parade that starts at 1 o'clock. The rereading of I'll do times. Let me tell the story and I'll do times, fill in the times. So the reading of the Gettysburg Address is like at 10:15, the ceremony starts, and then the parade is at 1. And that is, they have a Remembrance Day parade, and everyone's dressed in the period Civil War period attire and marching bands. They have really cool drummers that come out. They really do marching tunes, and it's a real big event. And would like to stress that we're going about this the right way. I'm going to be the town crier, and it's going to be tasteful, and I'm going about it the right way. I got in touch with the mayor, the National Park Service. I'm making sure the permits are squared away. Blah, blah. All of us that show up will be protected. I'm talking with them all right now and documenting it to show you how, people, how they go about this. Because I'm so shadow banned, my only stuff's only going to break into documentary. So I'm just like trying to follow the story on how to do this so other people can follow and show that I did it right. So anyway, I'm going to be the town crier because I just had a thing with my veterans representative and he called me a crybaby, take my crybaby stuff elsewhere. So I'm like, bing, town crier. I got to let everyone know. Bing, bing. So I'm writing a cadence and I don't want to give too much away. That's why I'm having a meeting with the Gettysburg Police, and I'm going to try to I'm not trying to add, but express my First Amendment rights. And I'm going about it to make sure that I don't interfere with ceremonies and I do it respectfully, because they're literally holding these ceremonies here to make money off of dead veterans by literally stabbing out of town ones for their buddy and hiding it. So it's just that much of a rot gut tourist town. And I've just documented for 4 years now, the depth and depravity of it and showing everyone this is what this tourist town's actually about. It's really not patriotic at all. And I've been going to these events for 4 years as a, more complimentary. I haven't been loud. I've had my full hat on with my American just letting people know that it's legal to stab veterans in Gettysburg as long as they're from out of town and it's a local crony doing the stabbing. But I've been complimentary. I haven't been loud. I haven't been boisterous. I haven't caused a scene. It's a family events, and this is a tourist town. They make a lot of money. It's very important to the business owners that are here. I'm not trying to disrupt anything, but it's been 4 years, and I just got an accidental email. The paper's publisher replied to everybody and his staff to don't engage with this guy. Like he accidentally remailed all instead of just his staff. He remailed me and said, "Don't engage with this guy." And I told him, I'm like, exactly, Harry. That's why this town earned its town crier. So that's what's going on. I'm going to be the town crier, and I'm asking all my First Amendment family to welcome the police. Come on down and film this First Amendment activity. I'm probably not even going to be filming because, like I said, I'm writing a cadence, a tasteful one, and I'm going to be the town crier with the foil hat on. And people to film in public, and I would love for y'all to come and attend. And
what's that date again?
Story, because our local news isn't. I'm not allowed. Only mugshots, man. Only mugshots.
What's the date on that again?
I'm sorry.
What's the date that's going down?
Thank you. Yes, the whole important stuff I didn't touch on. So that is November 19th. That's it's about a week and a half or whatever.
A Saturday.
It's November 19th. That's Saturday. Saturday, right? Crap.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
What's that?
2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks from tomorrow. Yes. 2 weeks from tomorrow, Saturday, November 19th. Gettysburg's a pretty small town. The audit's going to start out. Well, I can't say audit. I'm getting with the National Park Police right now. Literally, we're talking this week about the legalities and where and what. The ceremony's in the National Cemetery, and that's on like the kind of southern end of town. And there's a big lot you can park at where they park the buses across. And also you can park at the National Visitor Center, and they'll ferry you over. They'll shuttle you over there. The ceremonies officially start at 10:15. No way would I want to be in the cemetery filming disrespectful. I'm probably going to be at an entranceway to let people know on the way in. I'm not going to be, grenading the ceremony. I would never disrespect the veterans that gave me my rights to express my First Amendment rights. So I want to make sure that I am tiptoeing around that place, nothing but respect, just kind of maybe catch people on the way in. So that starts at 10:15. There's going to be a lot of dignitaries. I think Bernie Sanders just spoke there like last year or the year before. So they have big people coming down. And that's why I'm doing this, is because a lot of people that are into the Civil War thing, they're coming from out of town. So I'll be able to get this word out of town because I'm so shadow banned. And then the parade starts at 1. And the parade starts just like a block or two up from the square, the main square in town. It's right by the courthouse. There's kind of crazy parking all over downtown, that area. It's a tourist town. They're trying to engineer it so you have to walk by the shops. But that starts at 1. They stage caddy corner, like a block up. I have things posted online for it. But that's where they'll stage and line the guys up. Because it's different units. Like, hey, here's the 10th Alabama, and here's the 20th Maine, and here's all these famous units marching. So they're going to stage on that side. I'll be able to engage them before they're doing too much. And I've already contacted those organizers, the parade organizers as well, and let them know, hey, I'm being complimentary. I'm forced to do this. People got to know I'm the town crier. People got to know what this dangerous tourist town is capable of. So I've let everybody know, and hopefully we're a lot better received. And again, like I'm meeting with the mayor. The mayor's gotten in contact with me. We scheduled something. I believe it's next Thursday. She doesn't want to be filmed. This is all happening right now as we speak, and I'm going to try to document with as much film as I can, me getting those permits and talking with these police and doing all the right things. So November 19th, 2 events in Gettysburg. The wreath laying is in the cemetery at 10:15. I have links posted on my channel. I'll touch it all up. And then the parade is at 1 o'clock. And again, we'll probably be filming on the prior end of that. And then, or before that, on those locations. And then I'm going to see legally and tastefully not push the boundaries, but express my First Amendment rights. And that's why I'm getting with the town and the police and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. Because they just they charged me for 4 years for standing in the foyer of the public building. for literally legally filming in the foyer. And that was like a 15-month court battle. So I want to prevent that. I'm like, hey, this is what's legal. This is what's not. Okay, you got it, Chief. We're good, right? This is going about it the right way, correct? Avoid you guys a lawsuit and avoid me getting falsely arrested. So anyway, that's what's
Everybody
going.
wins.
What's that?
Awesome.
I said everybody wins.
Yeah, and thanks,
Yep.
man. Thank you, First Amendment community, like auditing community. Y'all been nothing but like so loving and caring and helpful and supportive. And please come get some film, get some good film. This is probably going to be a capstone. I really got my Superior Court appeal just hit the record, man. I beat the state attorney general in court, deputy attorney general, but the attorney general's office took over. And in Pennsylvania, we have this Democratic and I literally, in the same scandal, I have both of our front runners from governor wrapped up in the same thing, one more than the other. But that's how crazy this thing is. And thanks for bringing some attention for it, y'all.
I know
Hell yeah.
in
Thank you for
Pennsylvania.
joining the channel, Raven.
What's that?
I know in
I was saying
Pennsylvania
thanks
it's
for
hard to
joining the
get any
channel, Raven.
records and accountability.
I missed that auditing Erie County. I heard
I'm saying in Pennsylvania it's hard to get any records or accountability.
yes, yeah, freedom
The
of
way the
information.
government's run down there.
They won't release it. Huh?
Like I had an incident in Erie, PA, and I'll tell you right now, if what happened in Erie, PA happened to me and anywhere in New York, 3 of those cops fired, done, gone. Erie, PA, and Pennsylvania, nah, not the Commonwealth. Those guys are protected in there.
That was
Nobody wants to go up against the government. You ain't hiring no lawyer unless you're getting millions because nobody wants to go against the government. They're fucking.
Yep.
It is brutal. It
Yes.
is brutal in PA.
Yeah.
I really don't even want to go back there to audit because you're literally. That's it. I mean, I gotta say there's tougher places, but Pennsylvania, that's a tough place to go up against tyrants there.
Yeah, yet they have the bar completely fixed, and it's real heated political debate. And I purposely, I love the First Amendment. I stay on topic with that because I support everybody's right to believe in whatever politics they do, and I think that's why we should protect the First Amendment so we can discuss these things like Americans should be doing. But it shows, like my case verbatim, it shows how the state's like all corrupt and owned. We actually have a tripartisan ultra PAC that runs the state. Like we had TJ Rooney, who was like our old chair of the Democratic Party, and then Alan Novak, who was the chair of the Republican Party forever. They went off and each started their own lobby firms, like super PACs. Well, then they got together. And then there was this outside new governor, Wolf. His distant niece broke in my house twice and planted drugs and sent me to jail twice on the same charges. Anyway, that's a different story. He's the governor's side. Like Wolf got in place by this Mary Eisenhower gal, who she's just a career political strategist. And when she got him in the governorship, because Pennsylvanians were so sick of the two-party system getting them nowhere, they elected this outside guy, Governor Wolf. Well, he kind of created his handler, created her own super PAC, and then all 3 of those got together and made a ultra PAC.
Omega PAC.
That's what controls Pennsylvania. That's why it's so manipulated, because they'll know, like, oh, is this a Republican district? Okay, well, we'll have you cultivate our Republican, our guys who are Republicans in those districts, and like we'll own that, and then that way they can exert so much more influence over the state behind the scenes, and without the individual actors even really knowing about it. Like, oh yeah, this is our guy in this county, and then this is our guy over in this county, and then when you're part of that lobby firm and you hire them to do that, you get a lot of perks in response too, like they'll be giving them Marcy's Defender of Victims' Rights Awards, but it's like they're moonlighting at this lobby firm. It's all on my channel. It's all foil. It's all foil hat, and that's why I prep people with this. I'm like, everything I'm going to be talking about, you're going to be more comfortable if I'm saying it with this, because you're not going to want to believe it,
Hey, Erie County. Someone
I see
named
that
Cliff
my man
Williams.
Cliff there. I see him.
Yeah.
He's on my channel. He's the Erie County fam. I see you, Cliff. Nice to see you here.
They're in the house, brother. Tell them I appreciate them. Well, I guess I can tell them myself. Appreciate you, brother Cliff.
I'm done with my spiel. Did you want to open it up with questions, or did anybody else have anything to get on?
No, nothing too crazy to get on. I mean, yeah, if we want to do like a little Q&A, if anybody's got any questions they want to ask.
I can tell you guys a little something. That
drop some knowledge.
a direct attack on the First Amendment. All right. I don't know what you guys know of me, but I was in the Capitol on January 6th. I was there. Yep. I walked in. I took pictures like a tourist and walked out. I got charged with 4 misdemeanors, took a plea bargain, and got sentenced for it. The federal DC judge said that I didn't learn my lesson. My part in January 6th was very minimal when I wasn't going to get jail time. But since I did not learn my lesson and I continued doing the exact same thing by going into Rochester City Hall and filming in the publicly accessible areas, that I need 45 days in jail because I am a danger to society.
When did this go down?
The judge sentenced me for January 6th. He sentenced me from my First Amendment channel.
What a savage, bro.
And did he write that in his order, or you have
like
to?
some shit you can't
I'm
even
going
like
to
make
jail
up.
for
Some
45 days.
Like...
I got to go to jail for 45 days, 2 years probation, and during that 2 years, I am banned from stepping foot on a police department property.
What
it's
is that?
Because you took that plea deal.
What does that have to do with January 6th?
No, they're making an example.
They're going to say because you took that plea deal, they're going to try to use that as like some part of. They're going to say, okay, there was some clause or something in that plea deal that prevents him from. That's what they're going to try to say.
Oh no, there's nothing that prevents me from running my channel or nothing like that. It was the judge. It's a judge order that I can't step on police department property.
I don't know how he has the jurisdiction to do that. I mean, how long ago are you still on time for an appeal to stay it?
No, the appeal's over, man.
Damn.
The problem with the whole deal is Washington, D.C. is a 90% Democratic run like population. So going to trial there, getting a juror is never going to be, it's going to be biased right off the bat. And then on top of it, the trial's going to cost $100,000 in D.C. Having to pay somebody back and forth and go there. And so I took the plea bargain, but the judge straight up said that I wasn't going to get jail time, but I didn't learn my lesson. And I proved it by doing First Amendment audits because I'm a danger to society.
Wow.
Well, I mean, obviously.
You have
Erie County.
A danger to their society.
Yes. Yeah. Showing truth.
Erie County, I can't believe I didn't run into you at the insurrection. Oh, no, wait. There was an estimated 1.5 million people there. Maybe that's why I didn't see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was down there videotaping.
Thank you, brother Cliff. Sorry, my bad, Tom.
Oh, no, I was just saying I was down there January 6th for the insurrection also. Yeah, Lincoln Square, I guess I sent you a couple of those links. And I was down there on that infamous day as well.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. I know you filmed it in 2 parts. I don't want to, is it okay to ask you live about that? Okay.
Yeah.
You said, I know you said you stopped broadcast because they sent that Amber Alert out, but then it's like way later. Like what happened?
There was probably maybe 15 or 20 minutes in there. That's a bad thing. I was using my smartphone and an Amber Alert came in, so I'd cut off my initial live. So then I had to go back in there. And that covered the parade. I was on the front steps when they initially shot the tear gas out there. And so I just pulled my mask up, I didn't have a mask because we were outside. I had one in my pocket, so I put that up over my face, and that helped a little bit.
So that part of the film, like the best part?
Yeah. And the thing is, people were behind me. Get closer, get closer. You couldn't walk. It was kind of like a wave in an ocean. Everybody was just moving together as, thousands of people around you. And it's like you stepped when they stepped because you were shoulder to shoulder, front and back. There was just, I pity the people that had to, relieve themselves, go to the bathroom because there was no way you were going. You were stuck in the middle.
I've never seen that many people in one location before in my life.
Yep.
Wow.
And what scared me on the left-hand side of the steps was a big scaffolding. And I was told that's where the commercial TV crew goes. People were climbing up at that, and there was so much weight on there from the human bodies. I thought it was going to tip over. It started swaying side to side. And it's like I can't move away from this. I can't go right, left. I can't move backwards. I'm stuck. A lot of people.
That's
Oh
wild.
yeah,
man.
it's crazy. Thank you again, brother Cliff. My head is okay. I have 3 staples in it right about here. They got 3 staples in there, so I got it wrapped up. They wanted me to wrap it for 10 to 12 days. I'm only going to wrap it for the first like 5 or 6. That way it keeps the back of the tracing on there and kind of pulls a lot of that infection out, make sure it doesn't get infected, and also help with the bleeding because I'm on blood thinners. But I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for asking.
Yeah, keep that hat off so we can see that battle when we want to see it.
Get that.
No, get
Y'all
them.
wanna check 'em out?
Balloons to hold while we're talking, man. Squirrel.
Y'all want to see them? I tried to show the live stream the other day, but I couldn't see the camera, so I didn't know if it was like. Can y'all see these?
No, you gotta sit up a little bit. Like tip your head down more and come close to camera. Show us up.
Yeah, up a little higher, up higher, a little higher, right there. Oh yeah, we can see it now.
Oh yeah. Zipper
Oh
head.
man, look at
Yeah.
oh man.
I got 3 of
My
them right
gosh.
here.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
So I took 3 of them to the dome piece for you. I took 3 of them to the dome for the calls, baby.
That's
good.
another one,
Appreciate
man.
that.
That happened in New York, dude. Those guys would be done by now in New York.
He's messing with the governor's Praetorian Guard. That's why.
Yeah, that's why they hate me. Also, apparently, the guy who assaulted me, Robert Jones Jr. Now, again, I don't have 100% confirmation of this. This is only like 90%, but his cousin is a district judge in Montgomery County. So this is being killed from above my level.
Yeah, that they do that, and then
Yep.
they call their buddy down here. Oh yeah, I got you. Yep, that's all it takes.
That fucking hurts.
That's all it takes.
Yep. That's basically what it was. Is my cousin's getting fucked with. All right, cool.
And that's
I was supposed to have a meeting with the state's attorney on November 10th to discuss what was going to happen. And instead of waiting till the 10th, they waited all of one day to call me and say, "Yeah, no, we're not prosecuting that shit."
That's crazy. He opened up your head, man. Like,
Yep.
and
Is there any attorneys involved? If you talk to an attorney?
I haven't really.
Sometimes the attorney will force him to press those charges in a lawsuit.
I guess I don't really want to comment too much on like any like legal proceedings or anything at the moment. But I tried to file the charges. They refused, and a few phone calls were made. But that's all I can really say at the moment.
Understood.
But yeah, a few phone calls have been made, which sucks, man. It sucks that they did that. I was instructed to go and drop the video footage off, so that way they couldn't say that they haven't seen the video or anything like that. Now, because they did enter the process, or they entered the matter as noli proseque, which means they still have a year and a day to bring those charges back up and prosecute him for that. So
that's a statute for assault. But if that's assault, that could be battery too.
Yep.
Because that's the
they put malicious destruction on there because my stuff got broken, but they didn't put battery.
Yeah, all of it. We got to get that out of the community. Like that has to go.
They try to ignore that as much as they can. Thank you, brother Cliff. Appreciate you, brother.
If you think you might want to make a civil case out of something like this, or if something happens to you, just remember, it happened to me at the York County Prison. Contact the ACLU in your state, the American Civil Liberties Union, if you have a civil case. I think our corporate office is in Philadelphia, and they may take on your case, and because they can get a little salty and pricey. So just remember, the ACLU, they are on our side.
I contacted them when I was dealing with the DGS stuff, and they're not helping me.
Okay.
What is like the nicest way that I can say this without sounding weird? my skin color is very fair for the ACLU to be helping me. And I don't mean that in the sense that they're like racist. I just mean that they're there to help out minorities a lot more than like the majority. And I totally get that because statistically the minorities are more like oppressed and stuff. So I get that. You know what I mean? They tend to allocate their resources more towards the communities that might need it more than the white community. And that's fine.
Or you're messing with the governor's Praetorian Guard,
and that as well. Yep. And they were just like, nah, fuck yourself.
I'm telling you, you're there. See, I finally.
I know. I hate saying that because I feel like it's like foil hatted stuff, but it really is, man. It really is like
because
that's what it all comes down to. It's Colonel Mike Wilson.
It's always a conspiracy.
Yeah,
the governor literally hates my shit.
And then that's why we're here documenting it. You know, but yeah, this ACLU said the same thing to me in my state, and that's because I got the governor wrapped up.
Yep.
You're like, heck no, scandals don't break in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, you never know what the motivations are. Could be the bar, could be friend of a friend, could be something. But obviously, when the ACLU doesn't step in on something as clear cut as that, then there's a motivation behind it.
Blue line gang stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it lets us draw the conclusions, but there's a lot of them. Maybe it's more of like a parabola. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Nerding You guys want to check out my sword collection?
You guys want to check out my sword? What do you say? The chickens have large talons?
Yes. Yes, dude, that movie changed my life, man.
I loved that. So whenever no one's like caught it yet, but at the end of my videos, I always go like the first 10 or 15, I would say, I would go, be safe out there, take it easy, and peace out. The first 10, I would go, and peace out.
Yeah, like,
but nobody knew like why I would say it like that. And it was my man Kip.
Yeah, I knew you were getting that. Back in sorry, man.
Me and LaFonda.
Yeah. Sorry.
What do you say? Napoleon, you're mad because I've been at home chatting with hot babes online all day. My man looked like such a nerd.
Yeah, you
guys have no clue what we're talking about right now, do you? This is Napoleon Dynamite, that movie.
Gosh,
freaking idiot. You probably all heard this saying, if I can do it, you can do it. We can all become a First Amendment auditor by watching other auditors, the experienced ones. But we as individuals, we have to create our own path. It doesn't matter if you're assertive, non-assertive. Create your own style. Go out there and just be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Just do your thing and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Just be genuine. Just be real. Just be yourself.
And you get more comfortable with it as you go along and you do find yourself. Like when I first started.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was pretty aggro because, they hid my triple attempted murder in broad daylight and just like chose to continue to conceal it. So I was really mad when I first started out. And they were all like retaliatory stops. But after the sixth one, I ended up telling the story of why they're doing this and they freaking quit. So again, the power of using your video camera, showing people like, hey, I can't make this up. I just reported a police pedo scandal and they followed me out of here and invented a reason to pull out my 74-year-old father because I knew you guys were going to pull me over. So I had him drive so I could film you guys pull him over for reporting a police pedo scandal. Like, you're like, are you serious? You guys just fell for that?
Chomos stick with chomos, baby.
Hey, what Pennsylvania State Police? It Bill Cosby didn't happen by accident here, and like Sandusky didn't get served up boys in a shower room for 40 years without a big machinery to enable that to happen. A well-oiled machine to serve them up there that the time he was there, that he had a nonprofit for, to get the boys into the school that he was retired at working for, into the locker rooms. Like, it's so
damn, it goes deep. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh dude. Well, yeah. It's just Pennsylvania.
Being right there in Pennsylvania, yeah.
All those people that made that possible, like they caught 40 years of police not reporting the rapes from Bill Cosby because they knew, and then 40 years of that. all of those people that were involved are still around and or retired and or in their official capacity still. So that's why these scandals continue to happen. Like only one guy went down. Cosby didn't even go down. He's free. He's free and out. But yeah, it's the system's broken. It's weaponized. It'll smash just like auditing Erie County, just like they're doing to you. They'll smash
Infiltrated.
it in the extreme, and then look the blind way, like when real scandals happen. So it's the way the system's built, man.
That's the Blue Line Gang. It's deep.
Yeah, and that's why you're shadow banned. That's why you'll probably be shadow banned soon. First Capital, you better stick with your ghost pals. At least they're like, yeah.
There you go. And the blue line, that made me think sometimes auditors, it's a spare of the moment audit. But if you have a few minutes, do a little research. Officers, just like they love when they think you might be an attorney, but the blue line, it's not state law, it's federal law, 18 U.S. Code 700. Look it up. It has to do with defacing the American flag with the blue line. So right there, that's punishable up to $1,000 or a year in prison. So just 18 U.S. Code 700. And sometimes they might think, wow, this guy knows his stuff. I better back down. But just do a little research. If you have the time to go out, find your boundary lines, know your local statutes, go prepared, stay one step ahead of the others. It might save your life. It might.
Yeah. Well, and the legal battle, like know your limitations and what you can and can't do. And then you'll have a lot bigger legs to stand on in court.
Everybody should do a First Amendment audit, though, not just, even if you don't have a channel, you ought to go do one. It's American.
Yeah. Record the interaction, public official.
Even if you ain't got a channel, one of us will get it up there. Someone will get it up there.
Brother Cliff has a question for everybody.
We can't do that on YouTube.
The previous question is, how are all of us going to be able to change the status quo? Someone? Anyone? And it's actually, you answered the question you answered it within your question, Brother Cliff. It's going to take all of us standing up together. It's not going to be one auditor or one activist or one politician or one thing. It's going to be the people as a unit, as a squad, standing up together and fighting back and taking back the power for the people. So,
and that's why everybody's got to get out there and do an audit.
Yep, absolutely.
Annapolis, I want to build on what you said. Like, you nailed it. You got to have a local network. The things that the way they keep us divided is we have these national laws, blah blah blah. But really, the most thing that you can affect, and it's bottom up, so you don't see it until it's got its momentum, is what's in your jurisdiction. Like, we can't complain. We can cry and complain and post things on social media about what California is doing, and look at them do this to their state and run it in the ground. Now, you worry about mowing your own lawn and what's going on in your town. And again, that's why all of these things tie together. It's so important for the First Amendment because we got local citizens like us and learning to record and what's going on. Because again, the stifling of the local media, it's banned off the local Facebooks, not allowed in the local papers. So just like the microcosm that's wrong with the media at the federal level, it's just as wrong at your back door in your town, in your county, in your state. And again, that's why the First Amendment's really important. You need a network, you need a local network, people to be able to draw on, and that's what we're doing here. That we're building the squad. And then the last thing on how to change it, I think at the national level, I can't remember the statute, but it's just like in 2008 when they made political campaign funding unchecked. The corporations were considered an individual, and then because they're corporations, they don't have individual caps on donations for political campaigns. And that's why I feel our news has been hijacked more by, I don't want to say corporations and sound, just like foil hatted, it's the corporations, but it gives them undue influence on national policy, like healthcare. and everything that happened with the jab and how do we say it on YouTube? You know, you're not allowed to say it. I don't know. You're allowed to say it on YouTube anymore. And then the
No, you're not.
Yeah, the military-industrial complex. Like, I guess they found out up top that people get pissed off when you fight wars for 20 years nonstop with nothing to show for it except a bunch of dead people. Like, so they just keep them quiet now. There's so much stuff going on behind the backgrounds because they know that these people won't stand for it. So, yes, I think that there's undue influence of corporations, and a way to address that is, I can't remember the act, but it just recently happened, and that's another aspect of why things have gone downhill so fast. If y'all remember the Arab Spring, like that happened on Facebook Messenger. That's what enabled it. So if just the ability of people to talk together, to organize, to overthrow despots could do that, don't think that our security apparatus isn't doing that to us, or doesn't have a game plan on how to suppress it from us. And auditing Erie County, you're in the club with me, man. You speak too much truth, you get freaking shadow banned, dude.
I'll tell you, I'd like to add a little something to Cliff's question. It is the community coming together that makes changes, right? For instance, I went to Wyoming County, I got shoved around. The sheriff ended up resigning because of it, right? He didn't resign because I made a video and I made some good points and that he resigned because the family, the community came together. They made those phone calls, they sent those emails, and it got around and it took off like that. Like, no one person is gonna change this community. Even someone like Long Island Audit, he's huge, and he's crushing these cases, and they're folding them. They're not folding them because he's Sean Long Island Audit. He's just the guy with the camera. He's folding them. They're folding up because the population, the mass, are so upset that they're doing this, they can't get away with it. That's how you change the status quo. That's how you do it. We have to come together as a community. We have to gap those lines between Republican and Democrat. We all need to meet in that middle and focus on the government. We need to focus on that, and we need to come together as a community. Like, us content creators, we can only make videos, but it isn't until people watch these videos and take action that it becomes a big deal. Because that sheriff pushed me around, and I told her, "You think you're going to get away with this because you're a cop?" She's like, "I do. Good, arrest me." And it's that attitude. They have it until they realize the people are not behind it. And when that community comes together, and it's important for you guys to make those phone calls. It's important for you guys to be semi-professional in these things. You can't be threatening these people's lives, because that's doing the exact opposite of what we need to do. And professional letters, and let these people know, we're not happy about this. This isn't going to fly, because no auditor out there alone is going to make a change. It's the community, it's the family behind you, and that's it. I mean, I can make a million videos, but until the viewers see it, that's when the shit hits the fan. That's when it comes real.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Police officer can be cocky, but when the department takes 5,000 phone calls, they're in the shit list. They're not so cocky anymore.
Yeah, they start rethinking shit instantly. They're like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, when I'd done Lancaster State Police, I was outside in front of the police barracks, and they had me pressed up against the handrail. And when I sent that video to Long Island Audits, he came down about 6 months later, and he mirrored it. And I thought for sure he was going to jail on that one, but it's a great guy, and he does an awesome job.
Cool.
Hell yeah. I just want to say again, thank you, Brother Cliff. I appreciate you for all of the donations and the good questions, keeping the conversation going. You're thebomb.com, brother.
Oh, and yeah, again, Audit Erie, you were just saying, dude, and that's why it's so important that we preserve this First Amendment, right? Because if you wouldn't have been able to show the people the truth, like, here it is, would it have enabled them to believe what you were saying, or to see what they were supporting by having that sheriff there? So, yes, importance of 1A.
That's it. That's a good one. Yeah, Char D, that was the reason he grabbed my cameras and didn't swing at me, because he couldn't see me. I'm John Cena. All he saw was the camera there, so that was all he could grab.
All he saw was swole.
All he saw was just this camera. He just had to attack that.
His privacy in public was being violated.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe he didn't get charges on it because he so blatantly attacked you and he so blatantly did it.
Well, like he also says, literally, like 10 seconds before he starts screaming about it, the guy goes, "Now he's taking your picture." He goes, "Oh, I don't care that he's filming me." And then I take 2 steps to the right, and he goes, "Don't you film me? I have the right to tell you this." And like that was his whole thing, that he tried to fight me because I was filming him after being like, "Oh, I don't care."
Right.
But
Yeah.
then you fought me. You obviously care. You were big mad, my guy. I'm just more confused that I'm not even confused, concerned that it was like the chief judge of the polling location was the first old guy that came over to me. And like from the moment he came in there, it was just like, "Get that fucking thing out of here," like cursing at me in my face, like just so unnecessary.
Their sense of ownership of the land and the building is just disgusting. It's like the redcoats are taking over again. They're all redcoats.
Yeah, literally.
We're trying to sound the alarm.
And Lincoln Square, back to a few minutes ago when you mentioned the word jab. About a year ago, I did an audit through WellSpan. I did a video and it was titled "Jab, No Jab." It took YouTube 23 hours to take it down. And then I found out when they filter these, if I just add an extra B and spell jab, J-A-B-B, they never detect it. So use your words wisely out there, or they may take it down. A simple word like jab.
Gotcha. I was trying to do the Jimmy Dore, but I can't do the elephant.
I'm such a bad speller. Maybe that's why I get away with more.
Oh, there you go.
So we got any more
1990s flip phone. Yeah, any more questions? Anybody? This is the perfect time. You got 4 auditors in here right now on the panel. Any questions you got? Let them rip. Any questions? Let them rip. I know Mr. Cliff was donating while asking his questions, but it does not require a donation. You can just ask a question, and I'll throw it up there and see what's up. Well, here's one. This person wants to know what happened to. See ya, Erica. Take it easy. I appreciate you for coming out. YouTheBomb.com, girl. He wants to know what happened with the officials running that real estate scam in PA, Lincoln.
Well, it's called the Pennsylvania Bar, and they're all still working. But okay, all right, I'll elaborate on that. Nothing's happened to him yet, but I just raised a big stink. Like I said, my appeal just dropped in the Superior Court. Granted, they've hid this same scandal before, so I'm not like, up in ends about it, but things still hung up and it's still going. So backtrack, tell everyone else listening the story. My district attorney, just rolled me over the coals. So I've made it my life's mission to expose him. He hid my triple attempted murder, blah, 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 blah. So I'm made it my mission 4 years. I'm exposing this guy like a well-oiled machine. Does not work that well once. It's well tuned. It's a system. So I started a local network and of people disaffected just like me. And it turns out there's a whole bunch of us, and it's a small town, tourist town, lots of money, able to keep a quash on things, right? So I found out in 4 years of investigation, my district attorney back in 2008, the town runs a real estate scam, okay? And they have one of their prominent bar members who is a real estate titling magnate for the county, the premier guy in the county. They have him writing the fake deeds for that racket. So they're all trading houses and properties to themselves like crack rocks, right? On top of that, they all got over leveraged in the 2008 housing crisis. Because when you're running a Ponzi scheme, when you're running a thieving ring, the more over leveraged you are, the more money you're making if you can't lose, So they were all over leveraged in 2008 hit, and then they all went bankrupt. They all had to claim false bankruptcies and cycle their properties back through their cronies and their wives that had last names and were on all weird deeded out and everything. All right. So that's, but the thing was, his fraudulent, he was a 36-year-old single practicing district attorney, assistant district attorney, making $63,000 a year, no property in his name, over $100,000 in credit card debt, and $70,000 in student debt. And he wrote off his student debt, which is gonzo illegal.
No.
You need a
Big
federal
no.
like they'll
Yep.
let you do it, but you need to have an application for a waiver, and
Yep.
it's like it has to be like it's some extreme extenuating circumstance, like some huge health issue that you'd never be able to recover from, and that's why that waiver's there. But he was a young single practicing 36-year-old attorney that cycled his properties to his unnamed married wife, who he later then married, and they all had to jumble that up. So a bankruptcy is federal, so that's a federal crime, and to do that, they had to get the federal middle district of Pennsylvania, because the county courts don't handle bankruptcies. That's a federal thing. So the federal district of Pennsylvania granted him and approved that one, and thereby acquiring my district attorney to that real estate and bankruptcy racket. And now he acts as a gatekeeper in Adams County for anyone tied to it, like the guy who pled out the disorderly conduct for chasing me down and stabbing me after I disarmed him of his pistol, beat him with it, and ran away. All on video. So it ends up that my assailant, Glenn Kessler, the guy I have on video apologizing for it, he ends up having a false bankruptcy in that same thing too. So that was the tie-in. And then the last tie-in, just to tell the story, they seized my phone for trespassing in the foyer, the court foyer, when I was charged for 4 years for standing in the foyer. But they seized it, and that I had a bailout plan real quick because I was thinking they might. And I tracked it to the president of the county bar's office, the one who was writing a fake deed, stealing a house in that scheme. That's why I was there trying to attend the trial. So anyway, I caught them, tracked the phone out of evidence, and reported that. I videotaped everything. I tracked it on Find My iPhone. It's in the president of the county bar's office. They couldn't give that phone back to me without wiping it, because it would have showed the illegalities of what they did at moving out of evidence, especially where it was. That was the president of the county bar was the one I was investigating for her part in that racket at that time for that case. Like literally, what the heck is it doing out of lockup in her office? So then the state attorney general took over, because their office is the only one that can break into phones and wipe them. They're the only ones that have gray key. They can just do that, right? So they took it over, and the special agent that at the attorney general's office that wrote that warrant to break into my phone, I have the warrant. It's all posted. It's he wrote it so you can do everything in that phone for a case of trespassing. So they could get the video of me live streaming, but it was on CCTV, and they didn't even put a stay on the CCTV. So anyway, they broke into my phone to wipe it and do that. That special agent, I know I'm long-winded, but that special agent that did that, his father-in-law, first of all, that special agent lives here in Gettysburg. His father-in-law is the one writing the fake deeds for that racket, and I have it all. It's all linked in the motions that I served up to the attorney general prosecuting my case on this. I can't make this up. I literally wrote it out in written motions and attached all the evidence and served it up to the attorney general. And I'm like, here, you still happy you prosecute me over this? And they ignored it. And this guy's Democratic front runner. I just dropped the appeal. It's damning. It damns the judge. Judge had no jurisdiction. Prosecution had no jurisdiction, and that's why I'm the king of the kangaroo courts. I motion to crown myself king of the kangaroo courts. And does anyone with any jurisdiction object? No one had any jurisdiction.
It's a good video. Hell yeah.
The Adams County kangaroo courts. There's a king in the American
Jamal,
story.
my brother, out there in Montana, I would say the first place to start is obviously get yourself some basic equipment, and then just do research on your laws in Montana regarding the trespassing statutes, the harassment statutes, whether yours is a 1 or 2 party state, just the basic stuff that you see other auditors kind of brush up on and talk about in their states. I would just start with doing the basic Montana research, and then just auditing Erie County said earlier, just get out there. You just got to make that. I think it was you that said it. You just got to make that jump to get out there and do that first audit. Anybody can do it.
I will also say, if you're the first one in your area and there's nobody doing it, in my personal opinion, start at the police stations.
Yep.
start auditing the police stations, audit all the police stations. Once the police know who you are, when you start stepping into town halls and libraries and all that other shit, when they're coming there, they already know who it is, they know what it is, and they're not gonna, I would think you get more in trouble starting off in like places like not the police stations. I think you'd want the police to learn who you are and what you're about. And I think that there's a good auditor. There's stakes on both sides of the camera for professionalism. You're never going to get that far cursing guys out right off the bat, trying to stay more professional, because at the end of the day, when you're super professional and then they come at it childish, it's going to show in the video. You don't have to out child them, you don't have to out swear them, you don't have to nothing. Just, show what it is,
Yes.
Another common one is
sorry.
I was gonna say the loitering laws, because the police will come at you. You're loitering, so if you're in Montana, wherever. And the other thing, it's a play on words, and you've probably seen a lot of auditors, especially speaking of police departments. If you're doing the parking lot in the back, it's all in the verbiage. If it says keep out, no trespassing or restricted, do not go past that sign. But if it says police vehicle parking only, that has to do with parking, not walking.
Yep.
Don't take your
when you're
car
looking at
back
these
there.
signs, don't take the signs for granted. They're there for a reason, and just be very cautious as to what the signs are actually telling you.
Yep. Scalzo photo. So it says that trolls were mad at Annapolis Audit was filming outside the polling station. But if you do a YouTube search, there are countless videos of people voting at polling stations, faces not blurred. It's common. You are correct. And also here in Maryland, on the Maryland state government website, it says that you can video inside of polling locations. There's just a few things that go into it. You need to email the Board of Elections for whatever county or state or city, whatever you're at, and let them know who you are and what locations you're going to be going out to. So when you get there, you can say, yeah, I'm Joe Schmo, and I told you guys I was coming out here. And the other thing is you can't interfere with the privacy of someone's ballot. So you can't go into the little area where they're voting and like put the camera on top of their stuff. But you can 100% set up in the area. You can videotape the general proceedings, what's going on, everything. And I think you even said that I was, oh no, he didn't say it here. I was just outside on the sidewalk. So I never even attempted to actually go into the building. I was just simply outside looking through the door, which would then fall under the plain view doctrine. So anything you can see from public in public, plain view, brother.
You crossed your T's and dotted your I's. You knew everything. You cited the laws. You stayed within it. And they came and attacked you. And that's why you're going to get paid out.
Literally, Maryland 6-409 regards the trespassing there. Maryland Criminal Code 10-201 regards the obstruction and blocking of public entrances and walkways. So that's what it goes down to. That's another thing, like you said, loitering, Tom. Look up like the statutes and laws regarding like obstructing walkways, because that's the next thing they'll try and say you're doing. You're obstructing this sidewalk, or you're obstructing this doorway, or this or that. Just because you're standing in a doorway doesn't mean you're obstructing it. There would have to be somebody trying to come through that doorway and you inhibiting their free flow in order to be obstructing. So, like, if you're just standing in a doorway and no one's trying to come through it, don't let the police say, oh, you're obstructing this, or you're obstructing the road. You can go stand in a crosswalk in the middle of the road as long as a car is not trying to come through at that time. But if traffic is trying to come through, then you have to move to the side, because then you would be obstructing it. So you got to like look at the verbiage that's in all of these laws and make sure that, like you said, just be thorough on these statutes and stuff like that.
There was two questions up there for me that I seen before. Number one, about the beard. All I do is I take a shower twice a day. I soak that sucker in conditioner. That's about it for the beard.
Shit, this is looking nice, brother.
But the other question was, am I going to Pennsylvania on the 19th? And I think Irish Rover in Florida asked it, and the answer is no. I actually asked the date to see if I could be there, but no, I actually have a plane ticket. I will be in Orlando on that day, so I'll be closer to you in Florida there. But nice. I'm going to see my buddy Rogue Nation and James Madison Audits. We're going to hang out, maybe do some cop watching, and hang out on the beach for a little bit.
Hell yeah, it's a good time of year to be doing that.
And I'm feeling okay, brother. I'm doing all right. We're hanging in there. As when I was at the courthouse earlier, I saw one of the public defenders that asked me, and she saw like my head dressings, and I kind of told her what was going on. She's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "It's cool, Megan. They can break my head, they can break my cameras, but they're not gonna break my spirit." You know what I mean? The fight
Only
continues.
make it come back harder.
Yep, tyranny and oppression never stops, and neither do we. I was right back there the next day on a live stream, right outside the same polling place, dealing with the same MFers. You know what I mean?
And guess what? They didn't assault you this time because you were legal.
Yep. They didn't assault me. They did call the police up there, and that one lady who was like harassing me was funny. Like, she would stick her cane underneath of my tripod, like literally underneath of it, in between the legs. And then when I would go to move it, it would tap her cane, and she'd be like, "Don't touch my stuff." And it's like, why are you? Yeah, literally.
I haven't watched that. Okay, all
like
right.
It was so bad. I had my like battery pack sitting there on the tripod. She kept tapping the leg with her cane to try to knock the battery pack off of there. And at one time it does. And I go, "Thank you for knocking that." "I didn't do that." And it's like, come on now. Like, come on. So childish.
She was mad you didn't have your balloons, man.
Well, I walk up to like the House delegate because she's up there telling her some stuff. And I'm like, "Oh, Miss Lisa." She like acts real weird to me. And I'm like, "Miss Lisa, you were so nice earlier, but you don't give a shit." And she's like, "Whoa, when I hear you're getting up in the faces of people and calling them names." And I'm like, "Whose face did I get in?" "Someone who came up to ask you a question." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if she came up to me, then how did I go up and get in her face?" And she just instantly took it back. "I didn't say that."
Yeah. That's why you have the camera, right? Like,
yeah, that's why you keep them. But yeah, I'm doing all right, brother. Head's hanging in there. Head's hanging in there. I think I got 8 more days with the stables, and then we'll get them out. And yeah, boom. Erie, write down numbers 602, Cliff says.
What's that?
Cliff says, Erie, write down numbers 602. I don't know if that was like an inside joke or something for you, but he said, write down numbers 602. Big Jesus. I did have like some t-shirts designed originally, and I did one of those like spreadshirt things that YouTube puts out there, but nobody had bought anything in the first couple of weeks. And I didn't really like the server that was on there. They take like 80% of the proceeds anyway. So I just went ahead and canceled it. I'll probably get some t-shirts of my own at one point. She does hold the Canback record. That was Canback Karen in her final form. She assumed her final form and transcended the stars. I don't know how her arm didn't get tired. I swear, like, that generation is just like savages. My arm gets tired after like 2 minutes of holding something up.
Yeah, it sucks when you're like caught off guard because you had the live stream, you just like bumped into something, and then you got to continue. You're like, oh,
like, yeah, you're like holding your own elbow up, like, damn it. Yeah,
like, keep it out of frame, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said 6042. AEC. Clip is saying write down the number 6042.
And you know, we might have hundreds or thousands of auditors out there, First Amendment auditors, and they're not aware of it. If you get pulled over on a traffic stop, and let's say you're even guilty of the violation, record the police.
Thank you, Miss.
Because
thank you, Miss Gloria.
They're gonna act differently. So once you start recording the police on a simple traffic violation, guess what? Now you're a First Amendment auditor, whether you want to or not. You become part of the family.
You'll never say, "Oh no, I have that interaction on film." And literally, real joke, man. For people, for us, it's normal because that's what we do. We're like, I've learned. I'm going to whip out my camera and start filming. But a lot of people don't. It's not in their.
If you want to pull that phone out and record, but you don't want to hold it up, stick that sucker in your cup holder and point it towards the window. The guy doesn't
Yeah.
even have to know he's being recorded.
No
And you don't have to
idea.
feel like, oh, I'm going to record him. Now he's going to write me a ticket because I'm being an asshole. Put that thing in the cup holder and let it be forgotten.
Yep.
You'll
And
never
then
get
just
that.
remember, if
You'll never
somebody's in
get
the
that.
passenger seat, the person in the passenger seat does not have to ID because they're not in control of the vehicle. If you're the operator of the vehicle and you create the violation, you would have to show your ID, but not any passengers in the car. So just be aware of your state laws out there.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Record interactions.
All right, what is going on?
No other questions?
Okay, Erie County. It was a whole series. It's 602-419-6042.
Did you just post this guy's phone number?
Yeah, I think that's what just happened.
I think he did. He
I was
did.
kind of worried about that in the back.
Look, he paid me $2 for that,
Hit me in the email. It'd be safer this way.
Yeah.
and then $2 for that, and then
Oh, hey,
$2 for that. But the whole people can see it. Like it's on a chat. My guy, everyone can see this, Mr. Cliff.
Now we pointed it out on top of it.
Well, hold on. Maybe it's not, because then someone says something about 450 reverse the 5. Maybe they're
That
just
guy's
fucking
just trying to
with
get high. That guy's just trying to get high.
us.
This thing's at 420 somewhere.
419, 1999.
But, all right, guys, I got to pop off. I got to get going. I just wanted to hop on here and say hi to you guys and get to meet some of you guys for the first time and
Hell yeah.
say hi to the fam, of course.
Absolutely. It was nice getting in with you, brother.
If anyone needs to get in touch with me, it's LincolnSquare@gmail. If anyone wants to jump on this thing and where we meet up, just email me and I'll get you the details on where we're at. Everybody's welcome. Come do this 19th November.
Yeah,
All
if you
right,
want
guys.
to come
Thanks
out.
for having me. I'll see you guys later.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
you.
Be safe.
Erie County family love.
What's love, bro?
Hey, yeah, that was nice. He was cool.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm glad. It's so hard to get in touch with these guys because, they'll drop a vid and you're shadow banned on top of that. So you don't know if you're like getting through to these guys or not, man. You know how it goes.
Yeah, it was good to get him in here in the live stream.
Yes. Local network, man.
Hell yeah. Networking, baby. That's what it's all about. Damn, I didn't realize you've been here for 2 hours, too.
I know. It's been good. We've had good conversation.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, I probably won't be on for too much longer.
Yeah.
I feel like we're coming to the nitty gritty, but if there's any more questions, post them up. Some random dude, Chipcoin. Some random dude. You must be the dude Don from the maintenance yard, because he was also some random dude.
He explained to me Chipcoin, man. I knew it was going to be something interesting. Yes. What's up, some random dude? Good to see you, bro. He explained Chipcoin to me. It's like Bitcoin, but for like the apocalypse. Like you better invest in some chickens, man. It's too funny.
That's
Sorry.
so funny. Yes, Gordon. We were tussling. I wouldn't say that I like punched him in the face. I would say that I defended myself, and maybe my fist happened to maybe strike him in the facial area.
There's nothing wrong. You defended yourself.
Maybe. No, I did not punch him in the face. His face punched my fist, sir. He headbutted my fist. A couple of times.
I hope that doesn't come up in your civil case, what you just said right there, because we're live.
Now you're going to have to keep your head shaved so you can show that scar off to your grandkid.
Scar all the time.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. You got to show up with a dog with a cone on his neck and some balloons.
And just be out there, yeah.
Great trial.
But yeah, no, it was definitely a weird situation. It, like, to be honest with you, I don't even know. Like, the video is so like jumbled and this and that, and it was so adrenaline rushed at the time. I don't really know what the hell was going on, man. Like, I hit my head on the wall and just went into like fight mode, to be honest with you. I just knew at that point I had hit my head, and he pushed me against the wall a second time, and I was like, okay, I can feel the cold leaking down the back of my neck. This is it.
Wow.
I was like, this is not a someone just yelling at you situation anymore. This is a you need to defend yourself type of situation. So I did, brother.
Yeah, we need to get that video out there, and it's especially they stepped on their own wiener by not charging the guy. Like, this is now from assault on a journalist to like assault on a journalist and state cover up. This is like blowing up. People need to see.
Literally, yeah. Like they're trying to ignore this and sweep it under the rug as much as they can. Now, like apparently the alderwoman apparently went down there for the alderwoman for public safety went down there and ripped into them for not reporting it or putting it on the thing. I know I told you guys that. I feel like I'm just telling the people in the chat that maybe weren't here earlier. So anyone that wasn't here earlier, the alderwoman in Annapolis City who handles public safety went down there and ripped into the police station for not reporting it into like the daily briefing of crimes that happened. So hopefully somebody's on my side down there.
Yeah,
no one else seems to be.
True public servant, like, hey, this is wrong. We should fix this. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get one, a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while they'll pop up on you like that.
Yeah.
And again, like that
on the
I'm sorry.
Evidence you have and the gravity of what it exposes. It's like one of these ones.
It's huge. Yeah. It's like, dear God. They know it. They're just trying to hide it until after the elections. They don't want to lose the blue seats that they have here in Maryland. Maryland is a very Democratic state, and I'm not like a very like super political person, so I try not to get into all of that. But that is what I was told today is that Stuart Pittman, he said Stuart Pittman, Sarah Elfreth, and he named 2 or 3 other people that are like Democratic and are trying to sweep this under the rug until after the election on Tuesday, at least. Like at all costs, they don't want this to get out until after Tuesday. But somebody from the Washington Post actually reached out to me earlier. So
nice, dude.
That's
all it takes is a little bit of that. And then
I'll give them a comment. I didn't want to comment to the Capital Gazette, which is the local paper, because they wrote that like ignorant slander piece about me. And then they wrote this paper, right? And they wrote it and said that I also went to the post office and caused all these issues there too. And that was actually Long Island Audit when he was down here in Annapolis, not me. So I called the lady back and was like, I left her a voicemail. She didn't answer. And I was like, Rebecca, I was so genuine and nice to you. Like, why did you write the article? Like, in this bad light. Oh, and by the way, that part of it was false because this is another journalist, you dumbass. So like me calling her a dumbass apparently was some threat. So that's why when I went to the city council meeting last time, they had 2 or 3 officers there because she felt scared that I was coming and I had threatened her by calling her a dumbass. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have been a dumbass. Do dumb shit. You know what I mean? You call it dumbass.
Right. Yeah, well, if you do something that's like that, then, obviously you're not a violent guy and she has nothing to fear. But
yeah,
it's self-inflicted what she did, You're like,
exactly. Like you did it to yourself, Rebecca. So I told him, he called and like asked for comments, and I was like, yeah, buddy, this is why I don't feel comfortable giving him. And he was like, all right, I respect you being straightforward, being straight up. And I'm glad I did because they just read the article. Like the first part kind of sounds good. It like makes him look bad and like actually paints me out to be the victim kind of. But then in the second half of the article, it's like Mr. Tracy has multiple cases open for like behavioral issues at public buildings. And it's like, they don't mention that I've already won 2 of those cases. And then they go, and he's the reason that they had to have all these security things put into City Hall. And they don't mention that there was a security audit back in 2018 that actually said security or City Hall needed a metal detector, not me.
Total slant.
So, yeah, but I will give a comment to the Washington Post because they've never done anything wrong to me.
Honestly, dude, I do that local one. It's all it's going to happen is people are going to be like, what? And what's his channel? And then they're going to Google and you're going to
go to it. Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, it sucks to feed.
It says that I amassed thousands of followers on there. It made me look so good in the beginning. It goes, he's got it. Holy shit, my roommates are geeking out down there. It goes, he's got a YouTube channel where he's amassed thousands of followers, and I'm like, hey.
But more than their subscribership, papers are dead, man. Papers are dead because do is feed you the news you're supposed to hear, not the real
Yep.
news.
Yeah, no one wants to wait till tomorrow to read that shit anyway. They want to do it right now.
It's just establishment, man, and it's establishment microcosm. It's own. So
no, don't call the Washington Post. The Washington Post has not written anything bad about me. Call the Capital Gazette here in Annapolis, Maryland, or the Baltimore Sun, because that's who owns the Capitol. So they posted the same article. It was like a mirror image of the article. So yeah, call the Baltimore Sun and tell them they're fucking retarded. Sorry, don't use that word. It's 2022. You can't use that word. Tell them they are mentally impaired. Or tell them they
about the
are
adverbs.
fucking high.
yeah. Or like, troll them. Like, you figure a journalist would be more supportive of First Amendment activity.
Right? Yeah. Like one of your fellow journalists gets his head busted open and you're on the side of the asshole that did it. Like, what?
But you're not a journalist. You're just a guy with a camera that's videotaping corruption.
You're just an asshole that goes around and harasses people for clicks and views on YouTube and eBay.
There you go. You know it.
Yep. Classic troll statements.
Awesome.
I do want to add something else in there. For any one of us who have watched other auditors out there, if you're just a viewer, probably almost 100% of the auditors at some point in their career have filled out a police complaint form. And I'm sure they all serve their purpose, but I might be the only auditor that filled out a police compliment form. I'm pro good cop, I'm anti bad cop, but I actually did fill out a compliment form because that goes into their permanent record as well. So I always thought that was a nice gesture. So, keep that in mind.
Yes. Oh, my brother was a police officer. That's why I was so shocked when they pulled this on me, because I grew up with my head in my butt and I'd never been, at this other end of it. Not like I had any special favors from my brother. I was away in the Army the whole time while he was a cop. But yeah, I didn't know it was that bad. I mean, we know police officers are people. We know that people are good and people are bad. It's just that when you have a bad police officer do something to you, it is very difficult to come back from that as a citizen, because there is a blue code of silence. And again, we need more good police. You don't want to drive away the good police. But this is what makes a lot of First Amendment auditors, makes them. And you never would have thought they'd be a guy going around spending their time doing this until they have a bad interaction with the bad police, and then the system has no recourse for them. So this is almost like the only out course if you want to continue into it. Auditors are made, civil actors are made.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think we're at the end of the rope here, boys. We had a good little introduction for each other's channels.
Awesome.
I think this was a good time.
We'll be posting stuff about it, and gents, I'll get with y'all about more details about what to expect as I hear back. I think it's next week. I should be meeting with the National Park Police and the mayor. The event organizers haven't gotten back to me. I'm sure they're going to be talking to the police. So,
yeah, right. Yeah, they're going to be looking for something to. They're going to be looking for something to try to say, or some outlet to, like, you know how they are.
Well, I've been arrested and looking at state pen time for legally filming in public before. It was a big quagmire that took a long time. It was really bad. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to avoid a civil suit for the county. I am trying to make sure that all of our First Amendment rights are protected while you guys are filming this public event.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep.
November 19th, I'll be posting channels up. Nothing but love for you two, gents. Annapolis and First
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks for
Appreciate
backing.
it.
I'm very humbled by the time and attention y'all have given me and the backup immediately. Like, oh, you want to go film here? Just back you up? Yeah. Like,
hell yeah.
I need veterans in this town to do that. So it speaks volumes about y'all's character and what you believe in and what you stand for. Thank you.
Yep. Anything to help out fellow auditors, man. Anytime.
Team. Squad.
Squad goals. I also appreciate everybody that came out and watched. I think at one point we had almost like 400 viewers in here concurrent. So
Yeah.
yeah, people care. People care about us.
Yeah.
They all
Awesome.
came out to see Tom. They all came out to see Tom.
Yeah,
He
right.
brings them. He brings all the boys to the yard. His milkshake does. So
There
they
you
were out
go.
here.
Tom's got really good camera skills. First Capital's got really good camera skills and a really good live voice narrative voiceover. Really good.
I like it. It is. Yeah, it's perfect.
It
Yeah.
must be my
It's a good
genes.
It's a good like TV radio voice. It's good.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
I like it.
You
Hell
know,
yeah.
they say diarrhea is hereditary because it runs in your genes. So I don't know if there's truth behind that or not.
Yours runs.
Absolutely.
Yours runs
Absolutely.
out of your...
Well, as Mr. Brian just said right there, y'all stay safe. Everybody stay safe, and appreciate everybody for coming out, man. Y'all take it easy.
Yes. Thanks to all the fans.
All right.
Y'all for support. Much love, 1A community.
Absolutely. Catch y'all later.
Ding.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.